Rocket Lab. There's not knowing, there's extreme fear, but let's talk. So guys, I'm going to get straight to the point. We're talking about Rocket Lab's recent pullback. And if you're anything like me, my portfolio is so heavy Rocket Lab. I've been in it from around 450. And to be fair, seeing it down day by day, like today we're down 10%, and then over the month we're down 30%. Guys, it is extremely painful. However, in this we're going to discuss some of my thoughts, and you're in it for my personal journey in investing. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I am by no way a rocket engineer, rocket specialist. A lot of you will know an awful lot more about the engineering side of Rocket Lab. However, I dive more into the business, and I'm just sharing my personal thoughts and why I make decisions on my personal journey, just so you can read me like a book, really. So I'm going to discuss what I'm doing. Am I buying? Am I selling? I know some people are selling and dropping down and buying in lower. I'm going to let you know exactly what I've done with my position and where I can see it going after earnings. But as you are fully aware, I have been making my videos a lot more talking about my personal life and why I make decisions and little stories that affect me in the stock market. Today I want to bring you a little story about when I was a little bit younger. Now, as you can tell, I'm not in my 50s, I'm not in my 60s, I'm in my late 20s. So, to some of you, I am quite early in the stock market. However, I have been in the stock market for quite a few years. My big passion when I was younger was stocks and businesses and trying to grow businesses. And I think it's going to resonate with some people here, if not all people here. When I was growing up, I found it hard to make friends with groups that shared the same passion as me. And that's why I find it really weird that I'm trying to sort of turn the tables and sort of face my fear and try and grow a bit of a community here. So if any of you have watched any of my recent shorts over the past 4, 5, 6 days, you'll notice that I'm putting out day 1, day 2, day 3 of trying to grow a Rocket Lab community. I'm trying to grow it to around 10,000 enthusiasts. Now guys, that is not me just trying to build the biggest community I can. I just think 10,000 would be an amazing number that during times like this, we can all collaborate and get information across with each other. I admire the really big channels like your Dave G Investing, your Vince is Bullish, Scott O, and Matt Money. And they do something completely different to us, so hats off to them. This is nothing like this. I'm just more sharing my personal thoughts. Them guys are absolutely amazing when it comes down to actually breaking down the business here and there. I'm coming at it with an approach of the average retail investor and what I do to make decisions. Just so it might connect a little bit with some of you guys out there. But enough about me talking about how I'm trying to grow. I just think with recent pullbacks like this, I would hate to sell my stock because I'm ill-informed and I've just read articles on X telling me why ASTS is the best thing going and sell out your Rocket Lab position. Then on the other hand, if there was bad news, I would hate to stay in the stock just because I am Rocket Lab through and through. So if this story resonates with you, if you were once the young, inexperienced investor that found it hard to make friends with different investors, come be a weirdo with me. Let's make a community of weirdos where we're all so passionate about Rocket Lab. Hit that subscribe button. And now, let's get straight to my thoughts on Rocket Lab with this recent pullback. So if you're anything like me, you watch Rocket Lab Weekly that Vince hosts. And guys, I'm not going to repeat what them guys say on it. To be fair, they are much better at me at explaining Rocket Lab. So, what I'm going to do today is we're going to use some of the information we know from these guys, and then we're going to look at Rocket Lab as a whole and whether we should buy or sell on a day like today. So looking at it, the stock is down 33% over the month. Yes, it is extremely painful. But if you're anything like me and you were one of those early investors, yes, we're down 33%, but over the last 6 months, we're up 190%. This, in theory, is only a minor pullback, giving us a little bit of breathing space as we push forward. None of this is anything to do with Rocket Lab, really. This is a market-wide macro condition pullback. This is to do with the likes of Trump's tariffs. If you look at the likes of Nvidia, at time of recording, Nvidia have earnings tomorrow. Nvidia make, or I'm wrong there. Nvidia's components, 80% of them come from Taiwan. When the likes of America put tariffs on, you're going to get a pullback in the big stocks like your Nvidias. When you get big pullbacks in the likes of your Magnificent Seven, any of your speculative plays like Rocket Lab are going to pull back. This is an opportunity to add to your position, but for some people, it has been an opportunity to sell some of their position and just come back down and lower their average. What have we been doing? Well, I've been sharing some of my trades on the Discord. I am very basic when it comes to charts. I do a few Fibonacci retracements and I look at the resistant levels. However, I am more of a fundamental investor. I'm in Rocket Lab for the long term. Guys, if you can see this stock go into $100, $200, $300 over the next 5, 10, 20 years, why do you care whether you buy in at 25, 24, 23, 22, 10? It's not going to make a difference. You're really not going to care. Guys, I'm constantly raising my average because I can't honestly see the stock going back to $4. However, if it does go back to $4, I'm ready to drop another motherload of capital into Rocket Lab. Now, this is another thing I want to share with people because we get quite a few new investors on our channel. At times like this, where the whole market's pulling back, you're seeing people, I am buying more Rocket Lab, I'm buying more Redwire, ASTS. Sometimes it's better to focus on the stock you believe in. There's a reason you bought Rocket Lab at $4, $5, $6, $7, because you believed in the company. Why now? You believed in it at $30, but some people aren't believing it at $20. The business has not changed. We've had no bad news. We've had the Global Star get awarded to MDA. But guys, I think that always was going to happen. MDA and Global Star are like that. It was subcontracted out to Rocket Lab originally. So when Rocket Lab went through as the primary, I never actually thought they would get it. However, is this what Adam Spice was referring to when they were on about doubling the backlog? Or coming into earnings, are we going to get another announcement when it comes to a contract with the likes of Neutron? I do think Neutron will probably launch end of summer, maybe coming into the autumn time. However, do I think Rocket Lab will go up after earnings? I don't think so. I think potentially it'll stabilise, but I couldn't see it having a massive push. I do think it all falls on the likes of your Nvidias to stabilize the actual market before we see the whole space sector push up. I have also been lowering my average when it comes to Redwire. That has been another painful thing for me, seeing my Redwire fall down, just because, as you are fully aware, we have just started creating our position in Redwire. And yes, it may be a mistake buying at their all-time high. However, these all-time highs are not forever. We believe that the likes of Rocket Lab, Redwire, are gonna 3, 4, 5x. The likes of Rocket Lab, 10, 20x. So guys, let me know, are you buying or selling Rocket Lab? I am still buying, however, I am not dropping all my capital, because if there is any further pullback, I want to always have capital ready to deploy. However, we're going to be front seat at Rocket Lab earnings with the big YouTube creators. We're not going to step on their toes. We're fully aware that we're in our box for both Joby and Archer. So if you're interested in the eVTOL industry, make sure to meet us here.